So during this FPS season, there were three major contenders: Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Battlefield 1, and Titanfall 2. Now most people went with Battlefield 1, and I was one of the very small minority that actually bought Titanfall 2 over Battlefield 1. And I know that I'm in the minority, since Battlefield 1 has hundreds of thousands of players, and Titanfall 2 is sitting around 20 to 30,000 at peak. So do I regret it? Not for a second. I'll just say it right now, Titanfall 2 is one of the best shooters I've ever played. It easily ranks up there with my other favorites like Halo 3, Call of Duty 4, and Battlefield 3. With most multiplayer shooters, I only get about a month or so of playtime before I get bored and move on, but with Titanfall 2, there's this just one more game mentality while playing. It's surprisingly addictive. And the player comments on YouTube videos and forums all echo similar sentiments. It's a real shame that Titanfall 2 was overshadowed by Battlefield 1, since it's a damn good game that deserves much more recognition. So without further ado, here are the 9 reasons why you should put Titanfall 2 on your Christmas list. Number 1. The campaign. It's fairly rare that a shooter moves a significant number of copies based on its single player alone, and while I don't think I would have bought Titanfall 2 just for the single player, it's easily one of the best campaigns I've ever played. There's a ton of variety jammed into the game, and although the campaign is admittedly short, not a single second was wasted. There's no filler here, and just when you think it can't get any more awesome, it does. It's clear that Respawn put a solid effort in delivering a quality experience, which is a surprising breath of fresh air from the shooter genre. There are a lot of elements that are reminiscent of other popular games like Mirror's Edge and Portal. The plot really isn't all that special, but it does its job of delivering the context in which you bond with your Titan companion, which is the true strength of Titanfall 2's story. Overall, the campaign is definitely worth a play. It's perfectly paced, fun, and has some of the best level design I've seen in FPS in recent years. But more importantly, this type of behavior should be commended, so that developers actually realize that there's a reason to put effort into their campaigns, and not just treat them as a throwaway. Number 2. Balance. In just about every game I play, there is some overpowered ability or weapon that clearly stands out as the best in the game. While Titanfall 2 definitely has a few top contenders, I've yet to find something that is blatantly overpowered. The closest example I can find is probably the Tone Titan, which I must admit is a very powerful Titan. It's probably the community's biggest balance-based complaint at the moment. But even still, there are strategies which you can use to wreck Tone, and even some Titans that almost feel like a direct counter to her. There's almost an element of the perfect imbalance with the other Titan setups. The weapons all feel unique and different, while offering significant differences to change up your playstyle. Yet still, I don't find that any one gun is a clear go-to weapon in all cases. Sure, there are some weapons that are extremely versatile, like the R201 and the Volt, but they're severely outclassed in specific situations by other guns. The R201 is decent at range, but in comparison to the Hemlock or G2, good luck. And the same balance can be found in various abilities. There isn't a clear winner here either. Pulse Blade, Stim, Phase Shift, and AWOL all feel fair and useful in their given situations. And by pairing various abilities with weapons and ordnance, you can create some really satisfying loadouts. Surprisingly, my go-to setup for a while was an LMG with AWOL. It's an undeniably powerful lane control setup, and it was ideal for restricting enemy movement. However, one small gripe here. While I don't ever feel like there's a clear winner, there are definitely some clear losers. The L-Star, Mastiff, Kraber, Holopilot, RE45, and a few other things are seriously underwhelming. Hopefully these will be buffed in the future to make them more viable options.
Fighting.
Number 3. Fast, fluid, fun.
We're winning. We're definitely winning.
I think that most FPS gamers are aware of the recent mobility changes in shooter games. Call of Duty and Halo have both implemented new mobility-based mechanics to change up the gameplay. But in both of these franchises, I feel that the new mobility just feels like a small optional gimmick that doesn't really influence the gameplay all that much. Whereas in Titanfall, the mobility mechanics are integrated directly into the core game itself. If you've ever played the new Call of Duty games, don't let those mobility mechanics taint your understanding of what a true mobility system is. You haven't experienced real movement until you play Titanfall. It isn't really something that you can describe, you really just need to experience it for yourself. When the original Titanfall was coming out, I didn't really think it looked all that great. But I downloaded the beta, tried it for myself, and was genuinely surprised at how fun it was. And one of the greatest strengths of Titanfall's mobility is how well it contrasted with the heavy Titan gameplay. Which brings me to point number 4. Strategic, team-focused, and skill-based Titans. Titan combat in Titanfall has dramatically improved in Titanfall 2. While a lot of the players will complain about how they removed customizable Titans, this has actually helped Titan variety rather than hindering it. In the original Titanfall, everyone used the same weapons and abilities because they were statistically better than the others, and Titan combat quickly became a very predictable encounter. Whereas in Titanfall 2, the differences between each Titan loadout really help each Titan fill a specific role and stand apart from one another. Each Titan has unique abilities and weapons, and while some are easier to learn than others, there's a sense of mastery when you finally get good at using a Titan. When Titanfall 2 first launched, I started playing Ronin right after I unlocked him and got my ass handed to me. For a while I thought that Ronin was underpowered, but after playing him exclusively for the past few weeks, I've realized that he's devastating in skilled hands. For the most part, the Titans are extremely well balanced. Even though players will complain about Tone being overpowered, I don't really think that she is. Rather, I think Tone is just the easiest Titan for new players to master, while the other Titans have a much steeper learning curve. Another complaint I hear about Titans is how they restore health with the battery system, and at first I didn't like this either, but overall I think it's a much better system. It really encourages teamwork and strategic thinking, and adds a new element of understanding your Titan's defensive ability. Overall, although I was skeptical at first, I can honestly say that Titan gameplay has improved immensely from the original. Number 5. Game mode variety. One of the problems that players had with the original Titanfall was the addition of AI bots in all the game modes. Players felt that it was an unfair way of less skilled players being able to get their Titans earlier, while other players such as myself felt that the addition of bots made the maps feel more like immersive battlefields. With Titanfall 2, I can say that both of these opinions are catered to. Some of the game modes not only include bots, but make them much more important to success. A new game mode called Bounty Hunt only awards points for killing bots, but in addition gives each player a bounty based on how many bots they kill. At the end of each round, players can cash their bounties at banks. However, if you are killed by another player, that player steals half of your bounty. It's an awesome and intense game mode that does a great job of combining elements of both PvE and PvP, and there's a certain sense of panic that ensues when you have a large bounty to bank that will determine who wins or loses. Attrition is also back, but with the addition of new enemies that are worth more points like Stalkers and Reapers. These enemies have much higher health than standard bots, making your Titan much more valuable. This makes Attrition a much more strategic game where you're trying to deny enemy Titan influence. For other game modes, however, the bots have been completely removed to make battles more fair, balanced tests that test your team's direct skill. Amped Hardpoint is like Domination or Strongholds, but adds an additional ability to double each location's point gain. Some hardpoints are placed in secure pilot-exclusive locations, while others are placed out in the open, making Titans important to capturing and amping. Pilots vs. Pilots is now available from the launch of the game for players who don't want to deal with Titans at all, but I think the biggest surprise for me personally is how much I enjoy Last Titan Standing. I was always a little disappointed whenever it showed up in the original game, but the variety of Titans included with Titanfall 2, Last Titan Standing becomes almost like a game of chess. Each player and their respective Titan are important for victory. Whether you're a flanking Ronin, a damage-dealing Legion, or a defensive Tone, each Titan is vital for success, and winning will truly test your skills. Last Titan Standing went from being my least favorite game mode to one of my favorites in Titanfall 2. Number 6. The developers care. All the way back from the original Titanfall, it's clear that Respawn really cares about fostering a great community. When player population was low, Respawn gave all their DLC for free, including the awesome co-op Frontier Defense mode, which I really hope makes its way back into Titanfall 2. But it didn't just stop there. Respawn were quick to implement UI changes, balance tweaks, and additional elements like new Titan voices and a market to exchange different burn cards. These really helped to refresh the original Titanfall when the population got a bit low, and so far, we've seen the same mentality with Titanfall 2. Players complained that we didn't get a single player campaign in the original, and not only was it included in Titanfall 2, but effort was actually put in to make it a worthwhile experience. We noticed that a stats page was absent at launch, and with the release of the first DLC, it was implemented. We asked for more customization, and we got it. We asked for more weapons and Titans, and they were given to us. Not only do you get a great game when you buy Titanfall 2, but you support developers that are worth supporting, and to actually treat their fans with respect instead of viewing them as walking cash. Respawn also understands that paid-for DLC divides and separates the community, so all game-influencing post-launch content like weapons and maps are free for all players. Now with this comes a microtransaction system, and I never thought I would say this, but the microtransactions are actually really good value, so much so that I actually bought a few. All of the microtransactions are purely cosmetic, so don't get worried. They've added some new skins, camos, and Titan nose arts, but in addition, they've added Prime Titans, which operate identically to their standard counterparts, but they have a new chassis, voice, and custom execution. Once again, all purely cosmetic, not game influencing. And unlike other microtransaction systems, there's no alternate currency to buy or RNG packs. What you see is what you get. Number 7. Deep progression. One of the biggest complaints with the original Titanfall was how shallow the progression was. Ranking up and regenerating was extremely fast, and there weren't any cosmetics to unlock. Without any goals for players to strive towards, the original Titanfall didn't have too much longevity. That all changed with Titanfall 2, which includes a surprisingly deep progression. There are also so many skins and camos to unlock that honestly it almost becomes annoying trying to figure out which one I like the best. While some are unlocked at random through the Advocate network, others require you to earn them. My favorite example of this is the Stoic Dark camo, which is unlocked at Generation 10 for your guns, pilot, and Titan. As someone who loves the Ion Titan, I played it exclusively until I unlocked it. It took me over 21 hours of playing Ion alone, but I got it. And when other players see my Titan, they know they're going to get an ass kicking because they know how much effort I put into mastering it. And when I finished with Ion, I moved on to Ronin and started doing the same. There are also player cards which can be unlocked with 4 different tiers: Basic, Fire, Prism, and Gold. While some players criticize this for being lazy, I think it has the same effect as the Stoic Dark camo. When someone sees that I have the Gold Ronin player card, they know that I'm good with Ronin since I spent time to unlock the Gold card. In addition to this, you earn credits after every match, which can help you fast track the progression of the game, influencing unlocks like guns, Titans, and abilities, as well as giving you access to some cosmetic items that you'd usually unlock at random through the Advocate network. So if there's some weapon or camo that you absolutely can't wait for, you can buy it with earned in-game credits. And best of all, everything unlocked through credits will be available after regeneration, so you don't have to re-unlock it all over again. Number 8. Great matchmaking. This is a small point, but I feel that it really makes all the difference. The game is excellent at creating matches. Matchmaking is fast, getting you into consecutive games very rapidly. For the most part, the teams are fair and the games are close. The only lag I ever experience is on my end when the microwave is turned on. And the game allows you to select which server you want to play from, to make matches as fair and lagless as possible. Even at times like 5 in the morning when the servers are practically empty, I have no problems finding matches, waiting no longer than 30 seconds to get into the next game. Like I said, it's a small thing, but I feel it's important to note since one of the biggest concerns new players have picking up the game is how low the population is, and I want to make it known that it doesn't seem to be affecting matchmaking. Number 9. The community. Now maybe this is just me and my experience, but from what I've seen, the community in this game is actually really friendly. There are actually quite a few players that play with their headsets on, and for the most part they're all mature, respectful, and willing to work together. I've even received messages from players on the enemy team complimenting me on my performance. In fact, I would say that the most toxic person who I've seen playing the game is me. Sometimes I get a little bit frustrated with my team when I'm playing Last Titan Standing. Teammates. How did we lose? Got 120,000 Titan damage. And we lost. This is all further expanded upon by the network system, which allows players to form their own clans and communities and makes it easier to find new friends. It's a great utility, and I invite all of you guys who have Titanfall 2 to join the Virtual Flood network. So with all of this coming together, I hope that I convince some of you guys to give Titanfall 2 a chance. If you're not really all that interested in shooter games, obviously this game isn't for you. But for those of you out there who like fast-paced, fluid, and fun shooter games, I can't recommend Titanfall 2 enough. This is easily one of my favorite multiplayer shooters, and it's a top contender for my favorite game in the genre as a whole. It combines the fast reactionary, adrenaline-pumping shooter gameplay I expect from an FPS with a surprising amount of strategic critical thought. There's just something about Titanfall 2 that flows so perfectly, and I've yet to play another game that really captures this. When you truly master Titanfall 2, you will come to the realization that there really isn't another shooter like it. It's the perfect orchestra of mowing down a group of AI, then wall running and jumping to the next roof to finish off some pilots, and then the crescendo of dropping in your Titan. Never before have I seen a game of this quality, a game that was nominated for Game of the Year, sell this poorly, and honestly, it deserves better than this.